Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to the Digital Racing Sports Network as it is time for round 5 of the AcesUp 360 Winter Sprint Free Series with myself, Alex Goldschmidt. I'm joined in the booth by my good partner in crime, Chris Murphy, as it's time to put your hot laps in and get that slide job going very, very sideways here tonight at the USA International Speedway, round 5 of the series. Chris, good evening, buddy. How are you?
Excellent, Alex. Well, happy once again to be here with you. We've been together the last 3 nights in a row. But
people start talking, won't they?
Yeah, but unlike what we saw at Portimao and at Mid-Ohio last night, we have no rain here at USA International Speedway in Florida, which is nice, because if it was raining here, they're not going to put rain tires on these sprint cars like we see with some of the other stuff. So fortunately, but it's going to be a fun night. Car count's a little bit low tonight, but do not expect the racing to be any less exciting. As we're watching Tyler Schell right now get some laps here in practice in the 85. Wyatt Schuhart also here with us tonight. Nope, quite a few drivers, so we've got a few races here left to go. We'll pull up the schedule here real quick for you, Alex. Here we go. Where are we at? We're at...
Yeah. Well, we are at USA International Speedway, originally opened back in 1995, closed down in early August 2008, so only had 17 years of running, but still, thanks to the wonders of the iRacing service, we've got it on here. It's a 3/4 mile, 4-turn concrete oval, and it's going to be 14 degrees of banking at each one of the 4 turns. It's the longest circuit we actually have on the calendar, and next week we will be heading to Lincoln Speedway in Abbottstown, Pennsylvania. Then we're going to be heading to the dirt track at Charlotte on January 21st. Dan Martin's Lernerville Speedway in Sava Pallet, Pennsylvania on January 28th. February 4th, we go to Oswego Speedway in the suburbs of New York, and then Knoxville Raceway in Iowa on February 11th will conclude the the AcesUp SimSports 360 Sprints Winter Freeze Series. Now, more to the point, Tanner Pettit has a 1-point lead over Ryan Avila, with Aidan Forster just a further 2 points behind. But with those three not here tonight, it means that Tyler Schell could springboard his way to the top of the standings come the end of our 30-lap main here tonight. But of course, we're seeing drivers getting into the final throes of free practice here at this 3/4 mile 4-turn circuit. But more to the point, Chris, it is the longest track, so there's going to be a lot of slipstreaming in these 360 cubic inch monsters that we have, producing 700 brake horsepower, and those walls are not going to give way if you smack into them.
Now, kind of a unique shape here at US International too, kind of a paperclip shape, long straightaways, tight corners, and not only that, the corners are pretty flat. But like you said, actually air will affect these cars down these long straightaways, and then through the corners, I think we're going to see some slide jobs here for sure, because you're going to run kind of middle up here. So if you can get in on the bottom of somebody, slide up in front of them, that's going to be probably the best way to be passing here at USA. So right near, we take a look at Wyatt Schuhart in the number one. Wyatt, I think, only made one race with us so far, so good to see him back out here again. And as we were looking at the points, and he's only one of our drivers in the top 10 here tonight, Tyler Schell. I know there's a couple other events going on out there, and maybe some of our drivers have decided to run those instead. But good field of drivers here with the 10 cars we have. But I'm going to watch for that 85. And the 770 of Colton Brewer looks to be pretty strong here tonight. We've not seen him with us either, so should be a fun night of racing here, Alex.
Yeah, well, hopefully, with less of a field, it means that we could probably just see one heat race, which will then decide our grid for the 30-lap main. So, firstly, we have to say a big thank you to Steins Designs, who always bring us to the green flag whenever we start any race here on the Digital Racing Sports Network. And more to the point, a big thank you, as always, to Tanner Pettit Racing. Tanner Pettit, known in the world of dirt track racing, along with so many others, not just in the sim world, but also IRL. But more to the point, the thing is that when we started working together on this series on DRSN back on December 10th at Weed Sport, that was my first introduction to dirt track racing. So now we are underway with qualifying. Greg Robinson in the 830 is going to be one of the first people going out there, along with Michael Shields in the 088. So Greg Robinson looks like he's got the 83 on his car, but we will have on the live timing the 830 number against his moniker. You can see how high he's pushing through the cushion at the moment, but that's not the most... it's not the best line to go around here at USA International Speedway. As you said, you want to run low to middle around the corners and get the slide job going on early, so at least you can carry that momentum through and then straighten the car up. Yeah,
if the cushion is there, you're going to carry some speed, and we can see Greg Robinson right now kind of running up on that top. He's got that right rear tire right up against the cushion, and if you can keep it up there, you can keep the momentum going. I think we're going to see that in qualifying, but I think we're going to see the lines kind of change as the night goes on. It looks like Michael Shields now got an 18.156 right there behind. Here comes Tyler Schell. As we talked about, Schell is going to knock Shields down by about a tenth of a second. It's Klimowicz, Thomason, and Robinson. Thomason and Robinson, I'm going to struggle with that all night long. 4th and 5th right now on the leaderboard.
Yeah, we've also got John Klimowicz Jr. Scott Thomason goes up to P2, half a tenth behind Tyler Schell. Will make that 48 thousandths of a second. So Tyler Schell in this qualifying session. We're waiting for Wyatt Schuhart, who's just gone up to the 5th position. We actually have 11 drivers here in qualifying. Colton Brewer yet to go out for his 2 laps. So it is a closed qualifying session, which means everyone runs on their own. There's Nick Klosterman in the number 26, and he's gone P5. Wyatt Schuhart, in the meantime, has gone P2, and he's edged out Scott Thomason by next to nothing, 3 1,000ths of a second. And Colton Brewer is going to have to do, as we would say in the United Kingdom, a top gear from the rear. No time set by the 770 here in qualifying. So Tyler Schell takes pole position in qualifying on that one, ahead of Wyatt Schuhart, Scott Thomason and Michael Shields, John Klimowicz Jr. rounding out your top 5, covered by just 0.12 of a second. Nick Klosterman, Greg Robinson, Dean Reynolds, Aidan Thornberry, Henry Roslowski, and Colton Brewer. No time set by the man in 11th position. And more to the point, obviously, looking back at what we had last time at Kokomo Speedway in Indiana, Chris. Well, no, you before So this is the first time the AcesUp 360 Sprints Winter Freeze Series starts in 2026. I nearly said 2025 there, but I had to hold my breath and
It's another year. It's another year.
It's the turn of the year, so we all hope you had a wonderful holiday season and saw in the new year with some gusto. But we are getting ready and set for our 8-lap heat race, which will decide our grid for the 30-lap feature. Now, last time out at Kokomo Speedway in Indiana, we had multiple cautions at the 1/4 mile circuit. So let's bring you the grid for our heat race, which is going to be over a duration of 8 laps. It's Greg Robinson and John Klimovich Jr., Wyatt Schuart and Scott Thomason, Michael Shields and Tyler Schell are going to be next up. Then
that's actually not showing it right because it's all right. Let's see if we get a different grid here because it's
okay.
Once again,
that's the thing. So it is going to be 2 heat races. Greg Robinson and John Klimovich Jr. will be on the front row. Scott Thomason and Tyler Schell will be on row 2 with Aidan Thronberry and Colton Brewer rounding out the 6. So we're going to have 6 in this one, 5 in the next. So we are going to have 2 heat races, and with less cars on this 3/4 mile circuit, it means that if you do rip away into the distance when we go to green, courtesy of Stein's Designs, it will be the case of how far can you push that envelope. But as we did see at Kokomo, Chris, last time out on December 17th, cautions bred cautions that night, and I lost count. I think you and I both lost count on how many cautions we had.
Yeah, big difference in racetracks from the last race to this one for sure. A couple weeks ago at Kokomo, we're going to roll off the line here at USA. Big difference. I don't expect near as many cautions here tonight. I see these guys going to give themselves some room through the corners. Watch for Tyler Schell starting at that 4 spot. You know what did he go to the pits and going to start from the tail of this? I'm not kind of disappeared off the track there, but we'll see what happens. He's out there. So, you know, what they do here is they usually invert the top 4 in these heat races. So Tyler Schell with fast time, that puts him outside of the second row here in our first heat race. So we'll see how this plays out. Welcome to our viewers out there. If you haven't been here before, hit that like, hit subscribe. My name is Chris Murphy with Alex Goldschmidt, DRSN. Happy to be here with you tonight. We're going to go around here. It looks like one more time under caution. And then we're going to be green flag here at USA with AcesUp SimSports.
Yep. So, as always being brought around by the iRacing pace truck here at the AcesUp 360 Sprints Winter Freeze Series. Will be running right the way through to February the 11th, where we conclude the series at Knoxville Raceway in Iowa. There is the pace truck just up ahead. Next time around, we will be going green courtesy of Stein's Designs here at USA International Speedway for round 5 of this 10-round calendar, the first of 2 8-lap heat races here on the Digital Racing Sports Network, as it will be Robinson and Klimovich Jr. that will bring us to green here at USA International Speedway for a 3/4 mile laps, 8 in total for these heat races. It will be who's going to get the throttle down hard and who's going to hammer down here in these 360 cubic inch sprint cars, which produce 700 brake horsepower. And that is normally a 5.9 litre pushrod V8. We're on green, courtesy of Stein's Designs, and it's a great start at the front end of the field. Looks like Robinson's already gone straight into the wall, and that is not a good start for the 83. So Thomason now leads the way in the 8. Klimovich in second. Tyler Schell rounding out your top 3. Looks like he's going to the low side, and he slingshots through on Klimovich Jr. That was a great move by Tyler Schell, as we've already completed one 3/4 mile lap here, but Tyler Schell getting way too close to the high side as they try to get the slide job on through, as they're going to come across the line to complete lap number 2. And Tyler Schell has really got the wind beneath his overhead wing on that sprint car, and he's diving to the inside of Thomason. This could be the change for the lead. Tyler Schell dives neatly sideways, and he makes a little bit of a contact there with Thomason, but Tyler Schell gets the opportunity, now makes it to the lead of the race, as we have 5 laps to go here in this opening heat race of 8 laps here at USA International Speedway. Tyler Schell on the move and charging forward, and look at the gap he's pulling.
Yeah, 3 laps down, 5 laps left to go in this 8-lap heat race. Tyler Schell started in 4th, already made his way to the front. just 3 laps into this race, and he is setting sail on Scott Thomason. Thomason right there in second. We're down to just 3 cars in his heat. We started with 6. Thomason and Klimowitz. Klimowitz is going to finish in the top 3. It looks like Thornberry, Brewer, and Robinson all out of this race. So we're going to keep an eye here on Tyler Schell, as it doesn't look like anybody's going to contend. We'll keep at that battle for a second. Klimowitz sneaking up on the back of Thomason. Can he make a move there? You can see a little bit different lines. Klimowitz up on the top. Thomason kind of going in, down on the bottom. Let's see what they do, heading down into 3 and 4. Coming off of 4 now, we're going to come across the stripe. 2 sticks up in the air, 2 laps left to go.
Yeah, the man from South Ranch in Michigan trying to get the run on Thomason in the number 8 car. And you can see that Klimovich Jr. using the cushion to get the traction. And down to the inside goes the number 34. He's going to dive to the low side of the circuit. And he gets the slide job on and he gets through. Great job there by John Klimovich Jr. White flag in the air. And Tyler Schell leading by over a second. Klimovich Jr. now P2. And Scott Thomason ends up in 3rd at the moment. But Tyler Schell, he got the Lucky Dog Award by getting the whole shot off the start and getting quickly to the lead. He's now going to power down the back straight away for the fine of, well, that was it. That is it. Job done. Checkered flag is out. Tyler Schell, what a run from 5th on the grid. Takes the victory in Heat 1 here at USA International Speedway. And he wins ahead of John Klimovich Jr. by just over a second. But the thing was, we both knew that Tyler Schell was going to rip his way to the front of the field. He was hammered down from the minute we went green, and that was it. Game over. Tyler Schell wins Heat 1 by just over a second ahead of John Klimovich Jr. Scott Thomason in the number 8 car rounds out your top 3. Aidan Thornberry, Greg Robinson, and Colton Brewer unfortunately out of the race as we're getting set and ready for heat number 2. 5 cars will take part in this one. Dean Reynolds and Nick Klosterman will be on the front row with Michael Shields and Wyatt Schuhart, and Henry Roslowski will be rounding out your 5 strong in this 8-lap secondary heat, and then that will help decide our 30-lap feature here at USA International Speedway. It's going to be a lot of, we said about the slipstream, and Tyler Schell used it to his advantage. So you can always count that someone at the back of the field is really going to profit from everyone in front.
Oh, for sure. You're just going to try to find your holes, be patient here. We'll look here at Wyatt Schuhart, our fast timer in the second heat, starting in that 4th spot. Henry Roslowski right there behind him in 5th. So a couple small heat races tonight. 6 cars in the first heat, 5 in the second. But it's going to make for an exciting 30-lap feature here tonight. We take a look at Dean Reynolds on that number 79. I kind of like that. I like the font they used on the wing there. It's kind of a unique number there. But let's see if Reynolds can get a hole shot here. But watch, he's going to pull some wheelies for us down the front straightaway.
That just goes to show the amount of torque from these 5.9-litre pushrod naturally aspirated V8s pushing around 700 horses through the rear axles. But the iRacing Pace Truck will help us to going green, courtesy of our friends at Stein's Design. So big thank you to them, and also to the support of Tanner Pettit Racing. But it is going to be the case of when that pace truck peels in, we will be ready to go. And more to the point, we're running on board with Michael Shields in the number 88, right behind Dean Reynolds, our pole sitter for Heat 2. 8 laps as we are getting ready to go to green once again here at USA International Speedway for round 5 of the AcesUp 360 Winter Freeze Series. As pace truck in pit lane, Barney, our flag marshal, ready to wave us to green. And here we go. It's underway for 8 laps of racing at USA International Speedway. And straight away, Dean Reynolds gets the whole shot. And round the outside, that's where Schuhart on Michael Shields trying to get through. He gets to the high side. They are literally wheel to wheel, getting the slide job on. And there's a bit of contact. And Wyatt Schuhart hits the wall hard. Oh, and that overhead wing magically reappears, as it always does, like we see in GT4s when front bumpers go away, and then all of a sudden they come back again.
Yeah, side by side.
But still,
I was going to say side by side in the corner. There's Shields on the bottom. Car pushed up on him, made that contact with Schuhart, shoved Schuhart into the fence. So our fast timer here for this second heat race is going to have to start at the tail of the field now.
Yeah, that's not exactly how he would have wanted to have played it, but he did try and thread the eye of the needle, and sometimes that can be the difference between getting it all right or ending up in the wall. But this is going to be the opportunity here for Nick Klosterman. He's looking to the inside of Dean Reynolds, and you can see the amount of dirt that's being sprayed up, courtesy of our in-cockpit cam. And there's Nick Klosterman. He gets the drag down the back stretch, and he gets through. That's a great move there by Nick Klosterman through on Dean Reynolds. There's Michael Shields rounding out your top 3 in the 88 as we've got 4 to go. As they're going to, and look at how wide Dean Reynolds does to try and get the momentum coming through, as they have Will next time around 3 laps to go out of the 8 laps. Here at USA International Speedway. Dean Reynolds using that high side right towards the cushion. And we saw that in Heat 1, where a couple of drivers are finding a bit more traction up at the cushion as the track starts to evolve again, as we've got 3 to go.
Yeah, Klosterman moving down to the bottom, did a great job getting by Reynolds right there, kept the car pinned to the bottom of the racetrack. I thought he might slide up, but he had a lot of good momentum coming off the bottom of the corner. Everybody kind of searching around for the fastest part of the racetrack. You can see Klosterman right here running kind of bottom to the middle here through 1 and 2. As we get down to 3 and 4, he's going to change the lineup just a little bit, move a little bit more to the top. So you can see sometimes you got to find just a little bit different line on both ends of the racetrack. He entered in top of 3, down to bottom of 4. We come across the stripe, white flag. 1 more lap left to go.
Nick Klosterman now starting to gather pace, and he's got a 0.6 of a second lead over Dean Reynolds. Michael Shields rounds out your top 3. Henry Roslowski still running. Wyatt Schuhart has been in the pits for pretty much the entirety of this race, but it is going to be the case that Klosterman is going to get the victory. The unofficial results: Nick Klosterman does take the win after 8 laps ahead of Dean Reynolds, and Michael Shields round out your top 3, winning margin just shy of 0.6 of a second here at USA International Speedway. So let's have a look at the results for heat number 2. Nick Klosterman takes the victory after 8 laps here on heat number 2, ahead of Dean Reynolds by just 0.586 of a second. Michael Shields a further second back in P3. Henry Roslowski a further 6 seconds back. Still comes across the line low after 8 laps of racing. Wyatt Schuhart, unfortunately, out on the opening lap of this race. And now we get a little bit of an opportunity to have a breather here, Chris. 5 minutes of warm-up ahead of our 30-lap main race here at USA International Speedway. Those laps, despite being 3/4 of a mile long each, have been very, very quick. I mean, you're seeing these guys rip around them in these, in these pushrod V8s with 700 horsepower at about 18 seconds. I mean, 30 laps at 18 seconds, 18 to 20 seconds apiece. It's not that long when it comes to a feature.
I can get over pretty quickly, especially if we can go caution free in this. We saw a little bit of beating and banging there in the heat races. A little mistake there from a couple of guys. Cost Schuhart a chance to start up in the front of this race. He's in the back. We watched Tyler Schell here. Schell out here just taking some opportunity here to just warm up, just to try to find the fast way around this racetrack. Most of these guys have ran probably hundreds and maybe even thousands of laps around US Speedway, so they know what this track's going to evolve into. You watch Schell here up on the cushion, down through 1 and 2. Going to kind of run through the marbles up there to try to find something. He comes off high down the back straightaway here. So, we got a little bit of time during these warm-ups. I guess I need to get in the production booth and maybe put together maybe a short little highlight reel or commercial or something like that to give us a break. But appreciate every...
Yeah, we appreciate everybody that has joined us here on the Digital Racing Sports Network. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Of course, the next round of the AcesUp 360 Sprinter Winter Freeze Series will be heading to Lincoln Speedway in Abbottstown, Pennsylvania, the 3/8 of a mile track. So we go from 3/4 of a mile to 3/8 of a mile. Big difference, and that's a big old wreck. That's not. We did say about these concrete walls, folks. They do bite back hard if you get it all wrong, as we've just seen there. I think I'm not too sure who that was. That was probably. Can't really tell who that was. Yeah, that was Henry Roslowski, who's just pitted, and John Klimovich Jr. is also pitted. But more to the point, if you want fast dirt track action where everyone's putting down their hot laps, they're getting their slide job on, they're pushing to the cushion, this is where you want to be here on the Digital Racing Sports Network with us here. But Tyler Schell just ripped his way to the front in the opening heat. He's looking really comfortable at the moment, even in this warm-up, posting the second fastest time of an 18.801. But the thing is, it's times are for show. points to go here in this series.
Yeah, Shell's going to have a good starting spot here. Should start up towards the front after winning that first heat race. I think he might even start on the pole this thing. We'll see how it lines up. But Shell looking in great shape right now to take over the point lead as he comes into this race 4th in points with the top 3 not here tonight. So Shell just wants to get out of here clean, get a win, go home and take the point lead.
And that's going to be rather important, because after this race we'll have hit the halfway point of the series. So don't forget, as I said, like, share and subscribe. Hit that notification bell here on the Digital Racing Sports Network live on YouTube. And a big thank you once again to Stein's Designs and also Tanner Pettit Racing. And if you like your smoked pistachios, head to our good friends at scottsnuts.com. You know, the thing is that everyone
that's with a
likes
Z,
peanuts.
don't forget that part.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
And all I was going to say is, if you do see the Z or the Z at the end of nuts, you'll probably think of the words D's instead of Scots, if you know the meme on social media. But more to the point, a big thank you to everyone that has helped support this series. And yeah, okay, we've got 11 drivers on the cards for tonight, but nevertheless, we've had some great racing so far over the opening 2 heat races as we're coming to the last 30 seconds. So there's Scott Thomason from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Home of the Chili Bowl.
Tulsa, home of the Chili Bowl, and home of Sylvester Stallone's gangster series, Tulsa King, which has already completed season 3 and has been, I think it's one of my favourite. You know, like when you binge watch a series,
yeah.
Like as soon as Tulsa King's on, I'm like, I'm there. And I thought, about time that Sly Stallone got an opportunity to play a mafia gangster.
Yeah. Did Tyler Sheridan throw you some change here or something, or? No. I want to. I went in on this. If Paramount Plus did that, so if I went in on this.
No. I pay my subscription like everybody else. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. Well, especially as I'm a bit of a Star Trek fan as well, so that's why I have to subscribe to Paramount Plus. So you get that. You get Tulsa King, double bubble. I'm happy. But nevertheless, we have to concentrate on our 30-lap main here at USA International Speedway for round 5 of the AcesUp 360 Sprints Winter Freeze Series. So here is your grid. It is going to be Tyler Shell that's going to start on the pole, ahead of Nick Klosterman, who won Heat 2. John Klimovich Jr. and Dean Reynolds will run out row 2. Scott Thomason and Michael Shields, row 3. Aidan Thronberry and Henry Roslowski will run out row 4. Greg Robinson, Wyatt Schuhart's going to start 10th, with Colton Brewer due to start on the 11th position, but I don't think he's going to take the green. Aidan Thronberry has not also readied up either. So this is going to be rather interesting. What is Tyler? Is Tyler giving? What's Tyler doing? Is he giving himself a little bit of a? Yes, he's giving himself a little bit of a challenge. He says, "I don't want to start from pole. I want to start from the back of the grid."
Well,
now,
if that was real life, I think maybe his belts might have came loose and he had to pull over to fix them.
Yeah, or yes. But remember when we had Ryan Avila trying to do a comeback from the rear of the field?
Tyler's going to the pole here.
Yeah. But I think yeah, you're probably right. He probably just got caught short a little bit and just went, I'm not quite ready yet. Let's just get myself back to where I need to be. Well, he is going to start from. He's slowing down. Yeah, he's slowing down. He's letting everyone go in front of him.
All right, so Shell going to start from the back. So the 11 cars were supposed to be gridded up. We're going to start with 9. So it looks like it's going to be Klosterman and Reynolds up front. As we look here from the back of Klimowitz. Going to go around one more time.
This is going to be interesting. So get yourselves ready, folks. It's time to get your popcorn and your beverage of choice on your armchair and get ready to watch some dirt track racing here on the Digital Racing Sports Network for the 30-lap feature here for round 5 at USA International Speedway. Tyler Shell is going to be pulling alongside Scott Thomason. So Aidan Thronberry is in pit road, so whether he's had a bit of a drama, maybe had a possible disconnect of some case, but it is going to be Klimovich Jr. and Klosterman as pace truck into pit lane. Here we go under Stein's Designs. We're under green flag racing here for 30 laps at USA International Speedway, and Klimovich Jr. leads the field into turns 1 and 2 for the first time in the number 34. Down the backstretch they go. and it is going to be Klosterman who's going to get the side draft here. Dives to the low side, gets the slight job on, gets through on the inside and takes the race lead, as they will now come down this long straightaway into turns 3 and 4. And more to the point, we've got a first caution. We've not even hit a lap and a half, and our first caution is out, and that is Greg Robinson in the 83 that I think has caused the drama, I'm afraid. He's in pit road.
Yeah, we're going to try to go back and look at it here real quick. We don't usually have a lot of time here, but you see him getting loose down that back straightaway right here. Tries to correct the car, and it just snaps around on him, spins it around. Is he going to... maybe some soft contact with that inside wall, but maybe enough to do some damage on that right front, but it hits the tail tank pretty hard. So that is going to send Robinson to the pits. Hey,
probably broken the steering.
Replay work today. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go. Hey! And so we are under our first caution here at USA International Speedway after a lap and a half. So dramas for the 83 of Greg Robinson, broken front right steering, and also the tail tank getting a bit of damage as well in the meantime. So that is his race done and dusted. If you go out on the 30-lap feature, that's it. Your race is over. That's going to be... I think it's, as they would say in the Eurovision Song Contest, nul point, which is basically 0 points because he's DNF very, very early.
Are you speaking French at a dirt track? Was that French or was it something else?
Nul point is, it's French for 0 points.
Okay.
So, I could be saying I could be speaking Quebecois for all you know. For our Canadian friends out there.
100%. Looks like we do have one Canadian here with Henry Rozlowski, so he's probably about the only one here that might understand that. But get to a local dirt. I mean, not many local dirt track drivers are going to know French, but it's that's what we bring Alex for, a little bit of culture.
A little bit of international flair for dirt track racing. Here we go on the Digital Racing Sports Network, folks. Even though for me it is 20 to 3 in the morning here in the United Kingdom, but it is going to be Nick Klosterman that is going to bring us back to green here, courtesy of Steins Designs, as we're back underway with 28 laps remaining. And Klosterman got the hammer down very, very early. He's got a 6/10 of a second lead over John Klimovich Jr. White Schuhart. Oh, and there's been drama here. That includes Rozlowski, and that is Thornberry on his lead. Oh dear.
But we're going to stay green though.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, so Thornberry instantly returned to garage, so that is 2 out. So we're down to 8 cars. And at the minute, Tyler Schell has made his way up to the 5th spot. John Klimovich Jr. using the cushion to get the slide job on. He's finding pace through there. At the minute, well, you see there Rozlowski versus Reynolds. Schell puts in the fastest lap of the race, a 19.294, and he's closing in on Scott Thomason. And there is White Schuhart, who's being closed in on by John Klimovich Jr. in 34. And you see Thomason and Schell. So this is going to be very, very close indeed. But look at the lead that Klosterman's got. It's a second now as Tyler Schell round the outside of Scott Thomason, who looked like he was standing still. So we are 5 laps down, as down to the low side goes John Klimovich Jr. and White Schuhart. And look how close Tyler Schell was to the wall. He was touching it. Yeah. He was nigh on touching it in the 85. He's going to dive to the inside. Can he get the buy one, get one free special? Yes, he does. And we go under caution again.
So Schuhart was troubles in the heat race earlier, started back in the 10th spot, now up to seconds, past 8 cars in this race. Tyler Schell, who was supposed to start on the pole, ended up tagging this field, is now up to 3rd, and he's making that bottom of the racetrack work. As you said, Alex, he was right down against that inside wall. Schell finding a little bit extra bite down there that these other drivers are not finding, but Klosterman doing a good job of holding on to this lead, but he has got 2 hungry drivers in Schuhart and Schell right behind him on this restart. So we're going to keep a close eye as they head into turn number 1. I see we got a few people out there in the live chat. Appreciate you being here, DRSN. My name's Chris Murphy with Alex Goldschmidt. Who we got in the pits? We got Klimowitz in the pits. Shields is in the pits. It looks like Reynolds is still getting some work done.
Yeah, so Klimovich, so Dean Reynolds has come out. Reynolds is a lap and a half down. Michael Shields is still in the pits. Well, he's just rejoined after being on his marks in pit road for 5.6 seconds, but it is Nick Klosterman that, again, continues to lead in the number 26, ahead of White Schuhart and Tyler Schell. 19.2 seconds flat by the number 85, who I think his his decision was very strategic.
A big
This
push
is
there
gonna
from
be the
Reynolds.
moment- Oh, well,
Yeah, just goes in the corner and just the car just pushes up the racetrack.
yeah, and you can see the steering's angling to the right-hand side as well. So whether the front right got a little bit of damage, but it wasn't significant enough for him to retire from the race. If the damage is significant, then you park it. So that is unfortunately the case. But this is going to give the opportunity for Dean Reynolds to claw a little bit back. He's a lap down on our leaders. So Aidan Thronberry has actually rejoined after just under a minute and a half in the pits. So we are back up to 9 strong on this field, and it is going to be Nick Klosterman that's going to bring us back to green once again. But Wyatt Schuhart, you need to let Nick Klosterman go back in front of you, buddy.
He's wanting to speed that pace up a little bit. He's going, come on, Nick, let's go a little bit quicker here. You're keeping the pace down a little slow for me, so. But let's see how this is going to start as we head down the back straightaway. Klosterman, let's see if he can get a jump. I do not expect him to get too big a jump on Schuhart or Shell, but we will keep an eye as they head through 3 and 4 here one more time. We're going to go green with about 24 laps left to go.
So time for our third run to green here at USA International Speedway for round 5, and Klosterman already on the throttle early, gets through. We go back to green, 23 laps remaining on the counter, and once again Tyler Shell to the low side of the circuit. Scott Thomason following in his wheel tracks. They both go to the low side of the track, whereas Wyatt Schuhart making that high line work for him and getting their side job on through into the next couple of corners. And once again, it is going to be Klosterman that's going to cross that line. 22 laps to go. Shell to the inside of Schuhart once again through turns 1 and 2. He's also trying to go for the race lead. That low line for Tyler Shell is working really, really well. Can he dive to the inside of Nick Klosterman here through at 3 and 4? He's going to try and make it work, but Klosterman's got that little bit more of a speed advantage. Schuhart to the high side, only made it 3 wide, and Schuhart gets into the wall, gets into the side of Shell, and that's bang, straight them both into the wall on the start-finish stretch.
All right, and we got no caution for that. Oh, the caution's finally going to come out, and here comes the 6 car in there as well. So let's see if we can see what happened right there.
Oh, Wyatt Schuhart just got a glancing blow as we went to caution for the 3rd time.
Yeah, I saw that. So let's see if we can. I mean, it would have looked like happened. Schuhart up on the outside, Shell down towards the bottom of the racetrack. They were close to 3 wide. Klosterman just kind of moved up the racetrack, got into the side of Schuhart. Let's see if we can see what happens. We'll go back about 5 seconds here. Oh, why is it going fast speed on me here? There we go. Let's go back one more time.
Like slow, yeah, it went fast
yeah,
speed
right there.
Slow mo.
Yeah, Klosterman just kind of.
Yeah, he just had a little bit of contact with Wyatt Schuhart, who then cannonballed off the wall and into Tyler Shell. So Tyler in some respects, and then Wyatt Schuhart gets a little bit of a glancing blow accordingly afterwards. So yeah. That just goes to show how quickly things can change. So we're under our 3rd caution
It looks like Shell
of the evening.
Yeah, Shell might not have too much damage here. Schuhart either, so see what happens.
I think it was quite superficial for the pair of them. I think they're just trying to make sure that the car's still able to get the slide job on and still be able to counteract the steering, because as I first said when I joined you for this series back on December 10th, Chris, where it's dirt track racing. Yeah, people might say it's a bit like NASCAR, turning left all the time, but no, it's not. It's like you are drifting the car. You're effectively, it's like drifting, but it's a completely different art. Dirt track racing is they're high power vehicles. They're low weight. They run on methanol. They're half a ton worth of vehicle, including the driver. It is a case of you have to be very, very precise with your steering and your throttle inputs. A lot of the times that these drivers will not be using the brakes because you're using the throttle to kick the tail end out on the car, get the slide job on, keep that momentum going, then straightening it up when you need to really put the hammer down and go forward. Okay. And that's going to be the big thing.
Yeah, you're driving these cars more with the throttle than you are the steering wheel most of the time. It's all about kind of pedaling the car, and you can see the track's getting some dry spots in it. So you're kind of having to drive to those dry spots here and there. But watch Tyler Shell. Tyler Shell has found something on the bottom of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. Let's see if he can make his way back up here. He's back in 6 now. We've only got 7 cars left on the racetrack with about 21 laps to go. 9 laps down. Our 3rd caution flag. We're going to roll off turn number 4. Going to come green here one more time. Klosterman going to bring us to the line. And he, once again, he is going to get a big jump over Scott Thomas and Michael Shields, Scott Clements and Schuhart. But here comes Thomason down on the bottom of Klosterman right now. Let's see if he can make something happen.
Yeah, Henry Roslowski has rejoined after 2 minutes in the pit lane. There's Tyler Schell.
Look at Schuhart
closing in on Michael Shields. And then Schuhart looking to the outside of Klosterman as they come down the start-finish stretch. 19 laps to go, and there was nearly a three-way concertina with Tyler Schell to the inside of it. And that is who's that?
Scott Thomason.
That's Scott Thomason, who's hit the wall, and that car is not wanting to turn left at all, so he might bring out our 4th caution, and there it flies. Yellow flag, circuit wide, our 4th caution of the night, and we're not even at half distance yet, so the iRacing pace truck returns to the USA International Speedway once again with its lights flashing, and, well, Nick Klosterman so far has timed every restart to perfection, but Tyler Schell once again has made sure that his intent is known. He's managed to get himself up into that 2nd spot, but Klosterman on every single one of the 3 restarts the 3 starts we've had so far, the 2 restarts and the going to green at the beginning of the race, and this is where we see the dramas for Scott Thomason. He hits a little bit of a rivet in the cushion and then bang straight into the wall, and he was in pit lane. He has rejoined. John Klimovich Jr. has now gone into pit road once again. Aidan Thronberry I don't think is going to be taking any further part in this race. Greg Robinson was out on the opening lap, so it is a case of the thing is, if there's minimal superficial damage, you can get away with doing a pit stop under caution, can't you?
Yeah, you can here for sure, because you don't lose any laps on the dirt track. Yellow flags do not count, so you can come in and get a little bit of damage fixed, as long as it's not too bad, you know. But no quick repairs here or nothing like that, like we see in some of the other leagues, some of the other series that we do. But yeah, you can get a little bit of repairs done, fix a wing, maybe fix a little bit of superficial flat tire or something like that. But we've got what, 11? We sure did not expect to have 4 cautions with only about 10 cars on the racetrack with 11 laps into this race, but Klosterman doing a good job leading this race right now. Let's see if we can see how many. I have some. Let me see if we can see our lap leaders here. So Klosterman's led 22 of the 23. Or actually, that's not even close to accurate. Never mind. We've only got 12 laps down.
So, well, I mean, the thing is, Nick Klosterman's led all of them. Yeah, Nick Klosterman's led every single one of the 12 laps we've had so far. So we have basically, I think we'll probably be starting with what, 16, 17 laps left to go. So we'll be nearly at half distance with our 4th caution of the night here at the USA International Speedway. Big thank you to everyone tuning in on the Digital Racing Sports Network with myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and Chris Murphy, with you along for the ride here for round 5 of the AcesUp 360 Sprints Winter Freeze Series. Next week we head to the Lincoln Speedway in Abbottstown, Pennsylvania, as we go back to green. It's 18 laps to go, so 12 laps completed. Nick Klosterman once again times the restart to perfection. Tyler Schell to the low side, and he manages to get through on both Shields and Schuhart. Schuhart dives to the inside here at 3 and uses that low line, gets the back end a little bit higher up, but Tyler Schell trying to close in on Nick Klosterman for the race lead down. It's about 4/10 of a second. This time Tyler Schell right high side towards the wall. Doesn't kick the tail out there too long, but then clips the wall with the right rear as they come across the line. 17 laps to go, and Tyler Schell, look at the slingshot he got just there on the slide job, and he gets through on Nick Klosterman, who tries to go back and return the favour through on the inside. 16 to go, Tyler Schell to the outside, Schuhart to the inside of Klosterman. Klosterman was piggy in the middle, and he gets dropped quite significantly, so Tyler Schell has a lead over Wayne Schuhart of over half a second. So that low line at the circuit here at USA International Speedway really working well for the 85.
Yeah, Tyler's really getting that car to rotate around the bottom of 3 and 4 really, really well. Running the top of 1 and 2, dives back down to the bottom, going into 3. And as I say that, here he goes, right down to the bottom, right against the fence. He is really working the bottom of that racetrack. You can see a little bit more, maybe a little more bite down there off the corner. Schuhart sticking to that top line, but just not able to get enough bite off the corner to get a run on Schell. But right now, Schell looking solid out there. Got the fastest lap at a 19.19, 2/10 of a second faster than anybody in this whole race. So Schell, Schuhart, Klosterman, your top 3. But Schuhart's about got his hands full with Michael Shields here. and that number 88 is closed in for third.
Yeah, Scott Thomason is a little bit eating their dust, so to speak, down in P5, as there is Michael Shields currently running fourth, having started on the 6th spot on the starting grid when we went green 17 laps ago. There's John Klimovich Jr., the man from Michigan, climbing P6, and look at the run of speed he's got, and he's looking to the outside of Scott Thomason, and he's got the run, he's gone through onto the cushion, he's found the outside line there, got the side job on, trying to get the whole shot out of the corner. But I see with regards to Tyler Schell, through 1 and 2 he's using the high side, through 3 and 4 he's found that inner groove, and this time he's gone to the high side again. So Tyler Schell's making every bit of the track actually work for him, as we've got 11 laps remaining here on the 30-lap feature. And look at that, he's just clipped the wall, ripped off the top wing, and it's magically reappeared, and it's gone back on. But has that given him a mechanical black flag? Possibly, I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I think it's just visual.
It's just the visual side of things. But Tyler Schell, he was very much chancing it. He clipped the right rear on the wall again, as John Klimovich Jr. once again swaps places his musical chairs for the 5th spot on the field. But Klimovich Jr. using the high side of the track to get through. 9 laps to go out of the 30-lap main, and Nick Klosterman is losing time. Tyler Schell is now 1.9 seconds up the road. He's cantering away into the distance.
Yeah, 9 laps left to go right now. Schell, Schuhart doing everything he can. He is trying to find a line somewhere to make up some ground on Schell, but just not able to do that. Schell just doing a really good job. He's found where his car's working the best. Well, as we talked about, running the top of 1 and 2, the bottom of 3 and 4 is really working, but Schuhart is stuck to that top line. And actually, Schell jumped up to the top 2, 3, and 4 that time around as well. So Schell, Schuhart, Klosterman are top 3. Not a whole lot of battles going on the racetrack anywhere. Scott Thomason back there in the 6th spot. And Thomason struggles getting in the corner, just about lost it. Does a nice job of saving it right there.
He nearly clipped the inside wall on pit road exit as well, so he was very, very lucky to get away with that. But biggest move of the night, White Schuhart up 8 spots from 10th on the start, and now runs P2. Gap is starting to come down a little bit, but we're going to be next time around 5 laps remaining at this 30-lap feature here at USA International Speedway. Wyatt Schuhart getting the car sideways through the final couple of corners. 5 laps to go, and that is more to the point that Tyler Schell is now 2.2 seconds up the road. He's checked out as the number 85, and it's a clear run. But at the moment, I mean, that was very, very close for Scott Thomason coming out of the start-finish stretch and going low into turn 1 and nearly taking out the cone. As you can see, the dirt being kicked up from the cushion here into turns 1 and 2. Tyler Schell coming down the back stretch. There's Wyatt Schuhart, Nick Klosterman, who was leading for the majority of the race. But this man here, Tyler Schell, who will become the new points leader after this round of the series, has just got 3 laps to go, and he's really using that high side, using the top part of the cushion by the outside concrete wall to get the best out of the vehicle. It's not always about the top speed through the trap, it's always about how you can carry the speed through the corners in dirt track racing. 2 to go, and it's 1.5 miles. Tyler Schell really, again, is just pushing, and that wing has gone away, come back. But the thing is, it's just visual. He's pushing the limits of what the car can actually do on that high side. He's getting really, really good average speed. White flag in the air. Tyler Schell dives the inside of a back marker, and now we've got about half a mile left to go, give or take. Tyler Schell powers down the back stretch for the final time, into 3, into 4, high side of the wall, and here comes the checkered flag. It's Tyler Schell, race winner here at round 5, and more to the point, he becomes our new points leader. Fantastic
drive there from Tyler Schell. Wyatt Schuhart going to come home in 2nd. Nick Klosterman 3rd. Going to come across the line. Michael Shields, John Klimovich, Scott Thomas, and Dean Reynolds going to be our 7 cars finisher. Actually, Henry Rosowski also finished the race a lap down. Going to come home in 8. So 10 cars started the race, 8 finished. But it was Tyler Schell, and I actually think I saw a little damage on the left front. I thought a couple of shots there towards the end. I thought that right front tire looks like it might have been towed out a little bit. So if we get a chance to talk to Tyler, we'll find out. But fantastic drive right there. Once we got kind of straightened out, everybody kind of got single filed out. We ran quite a few we run about 18 green flag laps there at the end after we got the cautions out from under our belt.
Yeah, we did indeed. And yeah, so there you see our podium. Tyler Schell, winner of round 5 of the AcesUp 360 Sprints Winter Free Series, Wyatt Schuart and Nick Klosterman rounding out your overall top 3. And now it's time for the DRSN post-race interview show. And first of all, let's bring in our winner and provisionally now our new points leader in the series, Tyler Schell. How's about that? You decided to give yourself a bit of a challenge in that 30-lap feature, and you came through for the W. Congratulations, buddy. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to try to be able to try some different lines there and see what I could do, and it all worked out.
I mean, we saw you going through 3 and 4 using that low side. It really, really worked to the advantage. But then we saw you getting very, very close to that concrete wall through all 4 corners, heading towards the last 10 laps. I mean, was it just the fact that the track was so really evolving, so you could carry that speed through the corners?
Yeah, the cushion was getting meatier and meatier, so you were able to really put the car into it, and it would stick. Sometimes I'd just get over it and kind of put me in the wall, so had to fine tune it a little bit. But once I was able to do that, you're able to rip around there and felt pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you put it on pole overall in qualifying, and you come through as not just our race winner for the feature here at round 5 at USA International Speedway, but I think by our calculations, you become the new points leader heading into Lincoln Speedway next week. You must be feeling pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, when I knew some of the other top runners were busy doing another special event, I knew I just had to try to get as many points as I could get with this whole deal, which I was able to do, and hopefully that gets me a pretty good launch for the back half of the season. Can't remember if there's a drop week or not, but either way, having a max points night can't hurt you at all.
Well, firstly, congratulations from us here at the Digital Racing Sports Network, Tyler. Congratulations on the win and getting to victory lane. Before we let you go, buddy, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for coming on, broadcasting this deal, and for Chad putting this on. It's a bunch of fun.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, Tyler, thanks very much. Well done tonight. And we'll see you next week at Lincoln Speedway for round 6.
Yep, see you then.
So, big thank you there to Tyler Schell. And catching up with our runner-up here tonight, Chris Murphy is joined by Wyatt Schuart. Chris, over to you.
Wyatt, you got Chris and Alex in the booth. How you doing there, buddy? Are you there with us, Wyatt?
Yeah, I'm here.
There you go. Hey, a little bit of adventure out there for you tonight. You got involved in a couple of incidents. Did you take any damage in that one incident there on the front straightaway where you and Tyler got tied up?
Oh yeah, I had to go in. We got that quick repair real quick and got back up there and was luckily able to keep it clean after that. It was kind of a shit show out there.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, it was a little more adventurous than we thought it was going to be tonight. I thought we'd run pretty clean, but we ended up at about 4 caution flags. But once you and Tyler got clear of the field, you guys were set the class of the field for sure. You were kind of stuck up on that top line. Did you? Were you searching around a little bit, trying to find something to reel Tyler in?
Well, I knew the top side was good. I knew I ran the wrong gear there. I'm sure Tyler was just gone. Not much catching him. He usually is just the class of the field around here, but too bad we didn't have many of the other drivers in here. It would have been a lot better of a race.
Yeah, a bunch of other drivers. I know they're off running some races at the Chili Bowl over the weeks. I was hoping someone might sneak in here for tonight, but you guys still put on a good show, you and Tyler. So we go next week to Lincoln. A little bit different racetrack, a little bit shorter. How you feel about next week?
Oh, I love Lincoln. It's one of my favorite tracks, top tracks that I run at, and it should be a good show. Hopefully, we get some more drivers out there.
Excellent. So, Wyatt, good run here tonight. I know you've had a couple struggles here early in the season, so good to get yourself up on the podium. But before we get you out of here tonight, you have anybody you want to give a thanks to?
I just got to thank Chad, for putting this league up. Scott Thompson for helping me out with all my skins and stuff like that. and the Buck Stops here for giving me a little bit of a sponsor. But other than that, just happy to be racing on this iRacing deal.
All right, man. Well, good luck the rest of the week. Whatever you got going, and we'll see you next Tuesday night.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. All right, we got a third place driver here for you, Alex, Nick Klosterman.
Well, Nick Klosterman joins us here in the DRSN post-race interview show. Nick, you were leading that for pretty much half distance and also picked up the win in Heat 2. It was a tough one, wasn't it?
Yeah, track is very interesting tonight. I think I stayed on the bottom a lot longer than I should have.
Mhm.
But, I mean, the car was hooked up good. Timmy and Jonathan and the guys did great tonight to set the car up. But we just didn't have it.
It's kind of how it sometimes goes that, you know, you think you got the right setup and then the track evolves to a point where you can't get that grip, that purchase when you're up at the cushion, you're trying to get the slide job on and trying to get the back end out, carry that momentum through the corners. But still, nevertheless, third place overall isn't bad considering who you're up against at the front end of the field with Tyler and Wyatt.
Yeah, I mean, I race against those guys quite a bit. And typically, I'm getting passed by them as they're coming around to pass the field for the first time or the second time. So it was different getting passed by them for the lead tonight.
Mm-hmm. But next time around, in a week's time, we head. What are your thoughts about that particular track for round 6?
Lincoln race is really good. It'll evolve into a 2-line track. It'll actually probably race a lot better than what we had tonight, where it eventually became top dominant. But it'll be very racy.
Well, Nick, congratulations on finishing third on the rostrum here tonight at USA International Speedway. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to give a thank you to?
I'd like to thank all the guys at Evolution 9 that beat Timmy and Jonathan and Ethan and Noah and which are all the guys at JPR, Red Driver, Valco, Klosterman Engraving and Design, Dirt Roots Digital. I feel like I'm missing something else, but yeah, all the guys from JPR.
Brilliant. Well, Nick, congratulations on hitting the podium here tonight at USA International Speedway, and we'll see you next week for round 6.
Yep, see you guys next week.
So a big thank you there to Nick Klosterman, and that rounds out the DRSN post-race interview show for round number 5 of the AcesUp 360 Sprints Winter Freeze Series. Chris, even though we didn't have the biggest grid, we had one hell of a feature here at USA International Speedway, didn't we?
Yeah, a heck of a good show here tonight for sure. We're really exciting. Fun to watch Tyler come from the back. We knew he was going to try to do that, and it's always fun when you can see somebody come up from the back of the field like that, putting on a good show. But USA, car count was a little bit low, but it was still some great racing. A few more cautions than we expected for sure, but the action was good, and Tyler and Wyatt just kind of got to set the field there, and Nick did a great job. Sorry, Nick, I was trying to remember your name. Nick did a great job leading about half this race for as long as he could. And that's really all you can do. Once you get out in front is just try to run away. But unfortunately, the cautions caught up with him.
Well, I think the thing was, Nick Klosterman had the measure of everybody. He gunned it on the throttle. He put the hammer down on every single restart after the 4 cautions. But, the second half of the race was a completely different matter altogether with the cushion evolving really, really close to the concrete wall. I mean, Tyler did pick up some damage. Wyatt picked up some damage. But at the end of the day, Tyler Schell shines here at USA International Raceway for round 5 of the AcesUp 360 Sprints Winter Freeze Series. Well, a big thank you to, first of all, Stein's Designs, always bringing us to Green Flag Racing here on the Digital Racing Sports Network for the AcesUp 360 Sprints Winter Freeze Series. Big thank you also, as always, to Tanner Pettit Racing for their support of the series. And it might have been the case that Tyler Schell takes the win here at USA International Speedway and takes the new points lead going into our second half of the season. As from Lakeland, Florida, we head to Abbottstown, Pennsylvania. Same place, same time, next week on January 14th. as the Digital Racing Sports Network will broadcast live coverage of the AcesUp SimSports 360 Sprinter Winter Free Series from Lincoln Speedway. You've been in the company of Alex Goldschmidt and Chris Murphy. We'll see you same place, same time next week. And until next time, keep it pinned and keep it flat out. We'll see you next time. Good night.